down the drag strips of America and the Bonneville salt flats. And of course this is actually what they call a coupe. In fact it's probably a deuce coupe. Cue the Beach Boys. Wonderful time. So that's a very, very modified American car. But coming up next is a very, very original American car. A beautiful example of the classic Ford Mustang. This from 1966. Everything is standard apart from the wheels. But it is, of course, a very famous car. But heading up the strip is something very weird and very wonderful, because this is the creation of the guy who's known as the Banksy of the car world, Andy Saunders, who's created this amazing, this is a 1957, what was it? I forget what it was. Cord, I've got it. And he creates amazing recreations. If you haven't looked at this car in the paddock before, you need to look now. The detailing is fantastic. He found this 1957 Cord rotting in a barn, and he had a friend of his with him to go and look at the car to see if it was worth restoring, so he asked him to go and open the door and have a look inside. And he said he wouldn't touch that car until he'd had a tetanus jab, because it was so rotten, which is why he's got to call it tetanus. So that car in front of you, it's based on a 57 Cord, he's called it tetanus. The front wings of the bonnet are actually still the same shape as the Cord, but it was a four-door saloon. He's chopped off the bodywork at the back, put this lovely flowing coupe-style rear end of the car, put some bling rims on it. You'll see the spinners on each wheel don't actually turn with the wheel to give it a very weird effect. Amazing car, completely useless to go around corners in, as he happily admits, because American cars in these days is just all about cruising in a straight line. But an absolutely fabulous machine this is. The tetanus. I've tried to get my expert to get a tetanus song out of YouTube, but so far struggling, which I'm very disappointed. After Saka, after this, being unable. Anyone know any songs with tetanus in the lyrics? So as the tetanus returns, we have our next cruiser. I've lost my page now. The DeVille, I know it's the DeVille, I've said it 6 times already, but I still have to forget. It's the year 49. This is a proper, unmodified, really straight, stunning example of a classic American car from 1949. It's believed to be the only original Coupe DeVille in the country. And the 49 actually was a very groundbreaking car. It had the very first to have the overhead valve V8 engine, 5.3 litres. It's got a 4-speed hydromatic gearbox, which is actually, the gear seat is on the column, like so many American cars have that classic bench seat all the way across the front, and then the gear linker, the gear lever on the steering column. As the Tetanus cruises out, the Cadillac Coupe DeVille. Also the sun visor. Basically the Americans had, they always had those sun visors over the front windscreen, were very characteristic, and of course masses of chrome fenders wherever they could.
Plenty of groceries in the boot, wouldn't you?
So as the Coupe de Ville cruises back, we leap forward into the 80s now, 90s in fact, 96, the Maserati Ghibli Cup car. And this is a championship, they've had a racing series for the Ghibli Cup, which is why the number plate on that car is M1 Cup. It was a championship that actually went around Europe. When it came to Britain, myself and Paul Radicic, the British supercar champ, we were offered drives in the guest cars they had. And so I was able to race one of these very Maseratis. And me and Paul, we actually went out and were battling for the lead, the two of us, pulling away from the regulars, thinking we were all very clever. But after about 6 laps, we both ran out of brakes as they boiled over. And we both dropped back through the field very quickly as all the regular drivers probably laughed at us as they preserved their brakes to go a little bit further. So a Maserati bi-turbo. Except it's not a bi-turbo. Why did you tell me it was a bi-turbo? Sorry. I'm trying to get these experts alongside. Do my best. I do my best, ladies and gentlemen. It's a tiring job with experts beside you who don't know what it is. Oh, sorry. Where's the Italian music then? The Italian job. You're slacking on the music now. Oh, the BMW's gone up. Sorry. Forget that. Get some German music. Quick. Now this is a BMW that's following the Maserati up. It's not a bi-turbo, that was the next model. It's a 700 Luxus LS. It's a little car that went under the radar very much, very little known. It's rear-engined, it's got a little flat to a horizontally to an air-cooled engine. It's like the motorbike engine they put in the back of this BMW. Of course, it handled really well with its engine over the rear wheels, getting good traction. It was very successful in its class in motorsport, although obviously not winning outright, but down in the baby class. And 188,000 of these were sold before production ended as recently as 1965. So it was a very, very rare machine, a BMW 700 Luxus LS. I think it's very quiet, isn't it? I think we need music.